Hey guys! I'm going to start out with saying that this was not our intentions of a video this week. We actually had another video that we recorded last week. I had already edited it and had fully intended on doing that video for this week. However, in light of recent events, we decided to go ahead and talk about the coronavirus. So throughout this entire video, you're going to see the dog disappear and reappear. It's cool. She just keeps jumping down, seeing what's on the ground, jumping back on the bed. Here she comes again. She hears me talking about her. Anyways, so Alan and I... Oh, hi Madeline. She just wanted to be pet. We wanted to keep our channel very real as to what's going on in our lives, but we also wanted to keep it very true to us, which we try really hard to see the positive and look on the bright side. That's something we want to instill in our children, and we think that's something that's definitely lacking in today's society. So the idea of doing a video based on Corona kind of seemed a little out of character. However, the reason we're talking about it is because we have changed some things in our routine, and we want you guys to be informed as to what's actually going on in our lives, and not just the happy stuff, but some of the struggles, but to try to keep it all in perspective. So when Jessie got first diagnosed with autism, one of the things we did is research the heck out of autism. I read every study and book and information or podcast that I'd come across to try and find out more information about autism because I didn't know a whole lot about it. Let me start with saying that they don't know what causes autism. There is no definite answer that is agreed upon in the medical community as a cause of autism. There are studies showing that people with autism typically have a weaker immune system, that they are more susceptible to viruses and their antibodies aren't functioning at the same level as a neurotypical person. The reason that stuck out to me so much was because Jessie was actually hospitalized for 2 weeks with E. coli and some other forms of food poisoning. 10% of people with E. coli are susceptible to developing HUS, which causes kidney failure. And Jessie was that 10%. He developed HUS and his kidney function dropped horribly. He now has permanent kidney damage from that experience. When that happened, we just kind of laughed it up as, oh, that's just Jessie's luck to be that 10% to get the HUS. But after reading the research saying that kids with autism are more susceptible because of their immune system, it kind of made sense that the odds were not in his favor when he did get sick. With that, we have paid a little closer attention to the coronavirus. We know that it's not having a huge impact on kids, that it's really just affecting a lot of the elderly and people who already have weakened immune systems. In no way does that compare to what other people are going through with more life-threatening issues like dealing with cancer or diabetes or anything of that nature. There are a lot of people out there that are very susceptible to the corona right now, and I can't imagine the concern that those parents or people and families are going through. With that being said, I want to make it perfectly clear that has not caused us to panic over what's going on. That is not caused us to go crazy and buy a whole bunch of cleaning supplies and toilet paper like the media is publicizing. However, we did take a little extra precautions. The other thing to remember with autism is that the understanding is not the same as somebody who is neurotypical. So how we're explaining it to Jesse is that there's a virus going around that's very contagious, like the flu, and some people are getting really sick from it. And so we're taking some extra measures to make sure that we don't get sick from it. And just leaving it like that. We're keeping it the absolute simplest explanation that we can so he can understand it and remember it better and understand what we're talking about when we tell him why he's not allowed to do certain stuff. Like I had 2 packages that I needed to mail out, and since Alan is working over 60 hours per week now, there was no way for him to take it to the post office for me, so I had to stop after school while having Jesse and Olivia with me to take the items to the post office. Before we got to the post office, I explained to the children, we're not touching anything inside, we're keeping our hands to ourselves, we're keeping them in our pockets, so that way they weren't as tempted to grab a hold of stuff like kids like to do. However, that lasted all of 2 seconds, because as soon as we got up for me to pay for my packages to be mailed out, the first thing Jesse did was get down on the ground and grab a penny out from underneath the countertop. And I kind of yelled a little bit. I'm like, no, get off the ground. And he stands up and goes, but it's a penny. I'm like, that's touching stuff. Picking up the penny and going on the ground is the touching stuff that we talked about in the car not to do. The lady behind me in line thought that was kind of funny because she was in the same boat with her kids about not touching stuff and them still touching stuff. But with autism, it's a little different, because even though I explained to him why he can't touch the counter, he's still going to want to immediately walk up and put his hands on those counter and not realize it or think about it. And it's not his fault. He's not doing it on purpose. He literally just doesn't think about it. And with him going to a school for children with autism, I can imagine how that's going over with all the kids. I know that it's going from one extreme to the other with children with autism, and some people are afraid to touch anything or do anything, and other ones you can tell them about the virus and the fact that they can't touch anything, and they're still going to touch everything. It is what it is. What I'm doing right now is just the best thing I know to do to help prevent my family from getting sick to the best of our ability. So we have a little bit of cleaner, like normal wipes, some normal Bath and Body Works, little purse-sized hand sanitizers, a couple things of soap. Just what we normally have in our cleaning closet is what we had up until this week. With Olivia having very sensitive skin and allergies, we've actually kept most of our cleaners plant-based. However, when we were in the hospital with Jesse, they made it very clear that we need to use alcohol to disinfect everything. So since then, we did keep both a combination of alcohol-based disinfectants and plant-based disinfectants and use a combination of those. Since most of our cleaning supplies were more plant-based, I did go to Target to see if they had anything available. They did not. They were wiped out. No hand sanitizer, no cleaning supplies. I'm pretty sure the toilet paper was almost gone. And the only reason I know that is because it's only a few aisles over from the cleaning supplies. But I didn't pick any of that up. So when I was looking at Target, I could not find any just rubbing alcohol. I was just going to create my own cleaner like I did when Jesse came out of the hospital and we disinfected everything. However, they were also out of rubbing alcohol. The guy was very sweet. You could tell the poor guy had caught a lot of flack for not having the cleaning stuff in stock, but he was super sweet, and he informed me that they are supposed to get a truck in the morning and that he would recommend checking back in the morning to see if they did get any in with the new shipment. So that's what I did. I went in when they opened the next morning, and they did have some. Grabbed like 2 hand sanitizers. That way we can put one in my car, one in Alan's truck. We grabbed 2 packages of the disinfectants wipes, one to keep in my car, one to keep in Alan's truck. And that I felt was very sufficient for what we already had that we were using at home. We then just had a car version of it, so we could keep with the routine of what we're doing now. I didn't really feel the need to go crazy and buy in bulk or be selfish and try to take away some cleaning or necessities that other people might need. So that's what I got. And that's it. It's just enough that I was comfortable with what we had for our family and what I felt that we needed to protect ourselves as best as possible. So what we're doing now is sanitizing our hands every time we get in the car or have to go in public. So when Jesse gets out of school, the first thing he does when he gets in the car is sanitize his hands. Olivia sanitizes her hands, and that holds us over until we get home when you can actually wash your hands. We have our own wipes with us. When I did go to Target, grabbed one of the little shopping baskets, I had my own wipes because last time I was at Target, they were out of the wipes up there by the carts. When I had to go back in the next morning, I actually just took my own shopping bag, so I didn't have to touch their shopping cart or their shopping basket, and it kind of made me feel a little better about it. So if you're already worried about the shopping carts or shopping bags, try to bring your own and just carry that around if you're only grabbing a few things. Make it easy on yourself so you don't have to worry about touching their baskets. If you're going like a whole shopping trip, obviously you're gonna have to take a cart or 4 wheels, so you're not carrying all that around, but just a few things, just take in your own bag. So the other thing we're doing is actually monitoring our kids when they wash their hands to make sure they're doing it for as long as possible, which probably should have been done before, but at some point you have to give your kids enough trust to be able to do things by themselves and trust that they're gonna do it. However, right now is not one of those times that I'm willing to risk that. So yeah, wash their hands. And it's just the reminder of doing the things that we should be doing every day. However, with a toddler and a child with autism, I don't think you can ever really have too many reminders. The one thing that Alan and I have struggled with is all of the emails that are coming in from our employers and schools and activities that are just all repeating the same thing here in Columbus. Every email we have received has said they are aware of the coronavirus, that they're taking the utmost precautions that they can in cleaning and wiping down everything possible. However, they have no intentions of closing down, and that it's ultimately your responsibility to follow the CDC recommendations on protecting yourself and your family by washing your hands. And while I 100% understand that and 100% agree that everybody has their own responsibility to take care of themselves, I also think that as a business owner, it's kind of to protect your employees and or a school to protect their students, and not just their students, but to prevent them from bringing it home to parents and grandparents and other people that might be more susceptible. So that's it. I just wanted to keep this short and sweet and let you know we're just trying to make sure that we're practicing good habits for the kids to lessen our chances as much as possible without overreacting, so our kids don't worry about it. Because between the two of them, Olivia, I think, worries a lot more than Jessie does, and she gets really anxious when we get anxious. So I don't see any reason to get the kids all worked up. Don't get them all confused about what's going on unnecessarily. We're strong believers in telling kids what's going on, but keeping it very basic, but just taking a cautious approach. Everybody is different and everybody has their own unique circumstances, and I do not expect anybody else to take the same approach as us. I think everybody has to do what's best for them. And it's just that simple. I know this isn't our typical video, and I don't plan on talking about a lot of world events that are happening or discussing it a whole lot, but I just wanted to give you guys an update as to what's changed in our routine, what we're doing differently, how we're trying to best protect our family and explain it to the kids without overwhelming them. And I hope that you guys are staying safe, and I know that it's a little different this week, and we look forward to getting back to a normal routine soon. And I hope you guys actually look forward to the video next week, because I'm super excited about it and it's really fun. So don't forget, you can always subscribe to our channel, hit the like button so we know that you watched it and enjoyed it, and then ring the notification bell if you want to know every time that we upload a new video, like the one for next week. Hope you guys stay healthy and have a good week. Bye.